And we are live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Canadian Guy here, and we are back with the Crash Insane Trilogy. Yes, we are back again with Crash. We did Crash 3 and had a lot of fun with that. And so I figured, hey, let's go backwards. And we're going to go and do Crash 2 now, and then maybe we'll do Crash 1. Give me a minute to finish getting set up here, and we shall begin. Sorry, I was a little bit late. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the bar. The bar, I don't know what went with it. It was just kind of just went crazy. So, if anyone wants to fix that, please do. I am open to anyone fixing that bar because it is kooky bananas. Sane. There we go. Almost ready. Sorry, guys. Going to Crash Bandicoot 2. Almost ready, guys. Sorry. Also, what did you got? How's your mom? Mom is doing much better. She's sore, which is of course to be expected, but the previous issues that were plaguing her before aren't plaguing her as much now, and each day that passes it gets a little better and a little bit more better. We're going to be posting a video, a thank you video, hopefully soon, of everyone saying, you know, thank you, we appreciate it, and to kind of let everyone know what's going on. But we are planning on posting a thank you video, and also giving credit to everyone who donated towards Mom's cause, which is absolutely amazing. Give me a second here. Almost ready, guys. Sorry. I know it was a short video today, but I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of hilarity of today's video. All right, here we go. Here we go. Come on, why are you all squirrely? There we go. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear the game? Hopefully everything is okay.
It's Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex.
Who's picking up Bubsy though? I'm angry that I'm saying yes so far. Is there any way you can turn up the volume? We can adjust it, yes. How's that? Crystals, of course. No. Dr. Cortex.
We need not only your master crystal, but also the remaining 25 don't have any earthbound operatives.
Laughed.
You fool!
Game is tied quiet.
You think I'm unaware of the situation? If
There,
we
we'll try to
don't have
balance
any
it.
friends left on the
How's that?
surface, then we'll need to find an enemy.
Okay. Because someone was saying they can barely hear me, so I adjusted the volume. How about now? Crash.
My battery is fried. Make yourself useful, big brother, and bring an extra battery for me.
Can't hear a thing. Oh, geez. Okay. Just a tad more. Okay. How's that? Because some people are like, oh, it sounds great. Other people are like, it's too quiet. So hold on. Let's try that. It's good. Okay. Can't jump on. Apparently can't jump on my sister's head. Do, 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 do. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, so hopefully that's good for everybody. Too bad you can't jump on Coco and be a silly goober. I know, right? That'd be great. There we go. Ah, no! Trying to do the double jump too.
Well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot, welcome. I apologize for the crude means used to bring you here, but I'd rather expect a written invitation would have been turned down. I need your help. Surrounding you are a series of 5 doors. Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal. The crystals look like this. Bring me the crystals, Crash. That is all I will say for now. We will speak again.
Alright. To the woods. Any Spyro 4 news? Hi Rupert, how's it going? I'm trying to think of how to answer this. I'll say this. Hey Jumpmon. Trying to figure out a way how to word this. So I'll say this. Yeah, that's right. So if I completely skip the gem, doesn't he like? I've never done that, but I heard about it. That if you completely skip the crystal, he just loses. He starts losing his mind. I'm trying to find a way to word this. If I say, do I have news for Spyro 4? No. No, I don't. Did I hear that something interesting for Spyro Community Day? Maybe. I'm not sure. I just heard through the grapevine. I heard that, in some way or fashion, I think there's going to be some involvement of I always forget about those bloody things. I always forget about these bloody things. There's going to be some form of involvement. I don't know what. I think for Spyro Community Day. I heard that I had heard something about it. I heard something about it. I'm not 100% sure. But it may be like it's been, like, celebrated in previous years. I don't know. But I think there might be something, I don't know, in terms of how they're going to celebrate. I don't know if we're going to get, like, just a simple little post, just a little, like, you know, hey, thanks, guys. Oh, no. Or something, I'm not sure. Anyway. So, nothing in terms of as soon as official, like, Spyro 4 news, but that there may be a post for Spyro Community Day. I don't know what that post is. There might be, I don't know. And I don't know if it's going to be Toys for Bob or Spyro. One second. So I don't know how much of an involvement it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be members of Toys for Bob. I don't know if it's going to be Toys for Bob themselves. I don't know if it's going to be Spyro. I don't know if it's going to be all of them. I hope it's all of them. It'd be so awesome if it was. So no news, but possible. Possible, yes. And the post could just literally be like, yeah, Spyro, and that's it, right? It could be that. Or it could be one of those cryptic videos where they're like, thank you for being fans, and then it's just like there's, you know, like don't mind the Da Vinci Code, like, you know, numbers in the back that if you do the longitude and latitude, find out it equates to, you know, Insomniac Games' office and or you know, some weird, wacky, crazy thing that, you know, Toys for Bob likes to do. I have no idea. But I'm hoping that there's a low key, just like, hey, how's it going? There's something interesting here going on. I think that would be really cool. Bubsy, come on. Hold on a second. Get up. Thank you all for being here on this Spyro episode of the 4. Yeah, the 4 is bolded and purple. It's like, it'd be cool if the Xbox account got involved too. I would not be opposed to that. I think that would be really cool if the Xbox account also got involved. I think that would be really funny, and I think it would also spread Community Day. Did I grab it already? No, I didn't. Okay. Did I? Did I miss a super chat? Did I? I did. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, Brian. I typically don't do that. I apologize. Do you prefer the remasters or the originals? Thank you so much for the $5. Do you prefer the remasters or original? Which one's your favorite? You did. You clicked it. Ah, whoops. Sorry, guys. I know you wanted me to troll Cortex, but I failed you. So, I I have a bit of a bias when it comes to certain ones. I have I really enjoy. I think Crash 1 Insane is better than the original Crash 1.
Well done, Crash. I knew I could rely on you.
Crash
Now listen carefully.
2.
These holograms are hard to maintain. During the course of my intellectual pursuits,
Crash
I
2
stumbled across a force that threatens
is
to destroy the world. The crystals are the only means of containing it. The fate of the world is at stake.
I think I'm going to go with the original
To me.
Crash 2.
Are you there, Crash? Crash! Crash!
Then when it
Are you
comes to
there, Crash?
Insane, I also think they're pretty close as well, but I lean towards the original. I lean towards the original Crash Warped, but not by much. It's not. I'm not heartbroken if it's like, oh, you have to play Insane instead of Warped, or instead of the original. I'm not going to be I'm not heartbroken by that. I do really like the original Warped a lot. So, but it's not a crazy by a crazy quantifiable amount. It might even be nostalgia plays a huge role in that, right? Are you ready for the CTR PC port and Crash's 29th anniversary? Yeah! Woo! You agree with the popular opinion that Crash 2 is best? Crash 2 is good. It's not my favorite. Warped is. I love Warped. I love Warped. Warped is... I love Warped. I really do. And that might just be the nostalgia talking because it was the first Crash game that I played was Warped. So that's possible, and I would fully be ready and open to admit that. But I really do like Warped. What are the chances of Crash showing up as a fighter? More than before. Now that Xbox owns them, more than before, because I don't think there were any Activision characters at all in I don't think there were any Activision characters at all in Smash Bros. I'm trying to think. I don't think so, right? So, and when you say how many Microsoft characters were there, well, there's Banjo, right? And Banjo was Banjo was literally like, I guess, more forgotten than Crash is. So if Banjo can make it in, then Crash definitely could. It was one of the first. Hey, Jim C. Thank you so much, Maximum Richards, who's been a member for 57 months. The OG Crash Bandicoot 2 was my first video game. And you see that... It's hard for me to choose for Crash. Like I said, for me, my first was Warped, right? Low-key, the worst thing that happened to Crash and Sparrow is that CG ain't getting any more cool patches from Activision anymore. I mean, we haven't really gotten any, like, new content either. Like, if we had new content, then I think we would get new packages. I mean, I hope. I really hope. I love the packages. I love getting those packages. They're so much fun. And it's really nice. They used to send a lot more packages willy-nilly, though. At one point, they had a Tony Hawk. They had that Tony Hawk and Crash Bandicoot cookie cutter one that came with this postcard that I just conveniently have here. Happy holidays. Crash Bandicoot and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater are a batch made in heaven. We hope this gift makes your holidays even sweeter. Your friends at Activision. And it was a postcard, and also there was a whole bunch of cookie cutters and like a rolling pin that had both Crash and Tony Hawk on it. I still have it. My wife uses it. She loves it. So, Keishon Farr donated $10 to Super Chat. Thank you so much. The creator of Anton Blast says that he one day liked to work on Crash series, and Anton Blast was very Crash inspired, mixed with Wario Land. Thoughts on that? I'll tell you this. I would be more than open to see them try a take on Crash Bandicoot. I would. They are. I know Tony. I do know Tony. We've met numerous times. We've spoken as well, and he's a passionate dude that I think could really do a good classic inspired Crash title. I think that they definitely could do it. I think they could. For Crash franchise, given how I can literally fake an announcement and get mass attraction already, be like, here's my portfolio. I tricked the entire fan base.
So, you are helping Cortex gather crystals. Yet, you have acquired a gem. Interesting.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Cation on Fire. I appreciate everyone who's supporting this, supporting the stream. Also, the bar is at a weird number. If anyone wants to fix that, I'd be more than happy because it's kind of like, because apparently, according to the bar,
Is truly your concern. You must gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. Ah, yes, a laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he has created. Until then, I must use my forces to stop you from gathering crystals.
yeah, we're still at $89 and 6.045057743 So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think Team Uneven or Team Even is literally having a stroke. I think Team Even would see that and would just explode. Was entering artists as a trick spiral to help him kill Crash. Copium for that crossover. I do think that there is a potential for like the Quantum Masks to have a very light inclusion in Spyro. I think that would be kind of interesting. The bar tried to calculate something divided by 0 and explode. When the bar becomes an irrational number. Yeah, basically. I'm like, what on earth is that? You know, I have a funny little story to tell. Okay. I sat here and I started to feel irrationally angry as I was playing Crash Dash. And I was just like, what? Why am I feeling angry here? I'm like, why am I feeling angry? And then I realized that when years ago, back when we were looking for hints for Crash, Spyro, etc., there was a live stream by I can't remember his name now. I think his last name is Kelly. It was Activision running these live streams, right? They were running these live streams, and there was something that the guy said that came off kind of, he said it casually in a live stream where he was just like, you know, there's nothing to announce. Or is there? It's not Call of Duty related, right? And 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was one of the streams that I turned my face cam on, and we were expecting them to announce a game that night. The way that it was worded, it was very, very, very poorly worded. It was very poorly worded, where I was just like, everyone expected, many people expected, just by playing it back, a lot of people expected that something new was coming. Whether that was, people were like, oh no, it's Call of Duty related. People were like, no, it must be Spiral related, or it must be something else related. And then we almost exploded when they were like, hey, yeah, we're playing Crash Bandicoot tonight. And we're like, oh my gosh! And I remember there were fans with theories and coming up with like, oh yeah, they're going to do this and they're going to do this. And then we got to the live stream and they opened. They opened the stream with, hey, we're not announcing anything today, but we're going to play Crash Warped. And the chat was just flaming. The chat was a gigantic flaming donation bar out of a stroke or some other sort of traumatic brain injury. Yeah, basically.
3 crystals. Not bad. I see you are getting the hang of it. I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
And it was, oh man, people were, hey, Milk Dud donated $10.94 through Streamlabs. Fixed it? Yes, you did. You fixed it all right.
What did we fix?
The bar. The bar for some reason was
Odd?
It not just odd. It was like $89.06.06912.4. It was like a gigantic number, and I was just like, what on earth? I said, can someone fix that? And then Milk Dud fixed it by doing $10.94. Now it's an even $100. That's much better.
Oh, I love it.
Much better.
Just want to say goodnight.
Oh, hi. Good night. Good night.
Bar's feeling a bit quirky tonight.
Yeah, it was just a little quirky. Had a little too much bar juice. Bar fight? Bar? Oh. Bar juice. Why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, did you hear the cricket? That was perfect timing. Did you guys hear that? It was amazing. Do you hear it? Do you hear the cricket?
I don't think they can. I mean, if they can, awful.
Amazing audio. But it was great. It was like, it was quiet, and I heard cricket, cricket. It was great. Well, I'm going to go.
Could I
hear stomping? It's because the kids.
Could I have some water before? Or
I suppose I'll water you.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you. I'm sure cactus.
Now let's see what happens if someone from Team Odd donates. Maybe. That'd be crazy. I would be down for it. That the fact that listen, and I said it in today's video, is this, okay? There is, if anyone wants to sit there and say, okay, Sly Cooper's, we're never going to see Sly Cooper come back. We'll never see this come back. We'll never see that come back. Listen, Bubsy just got a new 3D game. Oh, thank you, love. Okay. It, like, the sun, like I said in my video, the sun has exploded, the moon is made of cheese, and the underworld is now frozen, which, by the way, I don't think anyone's clocked the image that I used. The image that I used for the underworld. Did anyone clock what it was? Walmart. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I'm happy there. Walmart. Yes. I use an image of Walmart for the underworld. And actually, I was very you didn't. I know that they didn't announce Sparrow. Not yet. Keep holding out. Yeah, my word for the underworld was Walmart. Now, so there's a so I'll say this, okay? Oh, geez, huh? The joke was inspired by my dad. So, so let me explain the joke. My dad said, listen, he said, my dad's not a big fan of music. He's also not a fan of shopping. He hates shopping. He loathes it. He hates shopping. Okay? He hates it. And so my dad made a joke one time, and it stuck with me forever. I always thought it was hilarious. My dad said, son, if I die, and when I die, I wake up, and I'm in Walmart, and they're playing rap music, I didn't make it to heaven. I know I didn't make it. And that always stuck with me. That always made me laugh. And I always thought that was hilarious. My dad's like, if I die and I wake up in Walmart and rap music's playing, I know I didn't make it. Like, that's my father's personal hell. So when I was coming up with what image I should use for the underworld, I thought of my dad. I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to use. Using the image of Walmart. Also, just saying, just saying, what a Gamescom, eh? Whoo-wee! What a show! So good! Just want to make sure that this is the way, I think this is the way it went, I think. Maybe not. I got a feeling it's not. But I don't remember that turtle being there. Oh, no, we're good. So, yeah, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I was like, you know what? I'll use this joke with that. But not the game show. The Gamescom, again, I still am upset with it. I'm still upset, man. It could have been so good. It could have been so good, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't. And like I said, it was a show that could have easily been pretty decent overall, and it just died. I know I'm gonna sound like stereotypical. Best Spiral Homeworld. It's hard not to say Artisans. Artisans is just really good. Apparently people were so quiet for Black Ops 7. You could hear them, yeah. Here's why. If you're going to Gamescom, you're not going for Call of Duty. There are, Call of Duty is a massive amount of casual fans and not too many like super nerds. And what I mean, like I'm a Spyro super nerd. That's a fact, right? I'm a Spyro super nerd, right? Pokemon super nerd. Call of Duty. There are people that will buy their console and then just buy the sit there and buy Call of Duty every single year, and that's it. They play Warzone and Call of Duty. Battlefield, they're feeling frisky. And then, if they're really creative, they'll play Fortnite. Everybody that's at Gamescom, unless you were, if you had to pay out of your own pocket of money to go to Gamescom, I can almost promise you almost nobody was there for Call of Duty. Period. Right? Like, you're not spending that much money, especially because you have to realize too is that it's in Germany, in the UK, which is a bit less of a gun-toting country compared to Meka, right? And that's not saying that I'm not saying nobody in Germany enjoys weapons. I'm not saying that either. And I'm not saying that they have no weapons and I'm also not saying that they have no weapons in the UK. I'm not saying that either. But the most gun-heavy culture in the world is America. So anybody who went to Gamescom from the States for Call of Duty, right? It's more now. Is it possible that someone did go there for Call of Duty? Sure, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that either. But at the same token of time, the likelihood, just going by statistical numbers, and people who are just casual fans of games are not going to Gamescom. They're not. Which I want to go to Gamescom now. I really do. I would love to go to Gamescom one day. Yeah, I don't have the blue gem yet. Mom is doing better. Like I said, she's sore, but she's sore from the surgery, and her body is healing. But overall, she is doing much better. I mean, the sad part is, Mr. Evaporation, is that you may not be wrong with that. I wouldn't be shocked. But here, she's doing better. She's doing much better, and thanks to everybody who helped out. Genuinely, my mom is still floored. When we told her the final total amount, she just sat there and was just like, I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe it. And I was just like, yeah, it's they did that for you. And she just was floored. I'm a casual gamer and I only go to my local Comic-Cons. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, go to your local. People go to local Comic-Cons, but you're not going to travel to Germany, right? I hope that when Spyro 4 comes out, and I got a feeling that when Spyro 4 comes out, there may be, up until Spyro 4 comes out, there might be a bit of a hiatus in terms of Crash Bandicoot. I do think that that's likely a possibility in terms of a mainline game. Could there be a spin-off involved? Maybe. You know, there might be a spin-off in between there, whether it be a mobile game, whether it's a mobile game, or whether it's a you know, a party game of some sorts or whatever, right? Just to kind of keep it semi-alive. But I'm hoping that the success and love that Spyro 4 or whatever it's called, Spyro whatever, new Spyro title. Good night, Mr. Evaporation. That then they sit there and say, man, we really need to find someone to make a new Crash. Right, like they sit there like, man, we gotta find somebody. Not just, oh, we hope someone will turn up. Like, we gotta find someone. And I think that would be awesome. Ooh, here we go. There's Coco.
I see that Ripperoo failed to prove much of a challenge yet again. But back to business. There are crystals to be gathered, 20 to be exact. The planets will align shortly, all 13 of them, and this will create a power great enough to rip the Earth apart. Properly utilized, however, the crystals can absorb and contain the energy.
Crash, is that you? I've been looking everywhere. I don't have much time to tell you this. You have to be careful. Trusting Cortex seems a little unwise, Crash. I can't keep the data path open much longer. Crash, you need to...
It's like, oh, Coco, what happened to you? Oh, hey, Coco. Okay, Barrett, Air Crash, Snowbiz. We'll do Crash. Not worried about Battlefield 6 because they said Call of Duty 6 is too big to fall. At the moment, it is, yes. At the moment, yeah. Right now, Call of Duty is in a, you know, you could spoon feed gray oatmeal to the player base for the next while and it won't die. Because people sign on every single day and they play every single day, and they have all of these brand deals, they have all of these things that just keep the game going, and the microtransactions and everything, and it's just a slew of just constant content. And it's kind of, there are times where there are games that are just straight up too big to fail. Oh jeez, I'm trying to do a slide jump. And at the moment, it is. There are people that exclusively COD do. Yeah, there are. There are people that exclusively play COD, nothing else. And more power to them. But every year they buy the game every year. Every year they buy the game, and every year they complain about it, and every year they then go and they pay an egregious amount of stuff. They pay an egregious amount of cash for the microtransactions, for the skins and all that stuff. And it's just way too big. And then you got zombies, right? And that's not a knock to anybody who likes Call of Duty. It's not. Like, if you like Call of Duty, that's fine. The problem is that there's just so many people that play it that if there's an issue, they complain about it, but they just say, we'll hope the next year's is better, right? And for me, I am a fan of sci-fi shooters. Like, if I'm gonna play a shooter, I want to play something weird. I want to play something different. Like, I really enjoyed like Halo Reach. That to me was just so much fun. I wish I was a content creator during the Halo Reach days. I would have had so much fun. Actually, we did try. I almost forgot. There is recordings from a channel long gone. Really? From a channel long gone where we were making machinimas. We were making machinimas with Halo Reach. And we had a lot of fun with it. I can't remember the channel name, though. I can't remember. But I remember my character's name was Louis. And we would sit there and we would script and record. And I remember that we made, like I said, we made these machinimas, these little machinimas with Halo Reach. And I wouldn't even be able to recall the we also made that's right, we made news videos as well. How could I forget? We were in my buddy's room and we would make news videos, and we would, oh my gosh, memory unlocked. It was back in high school, and we would sit there and we would do we were it's basically inspired by Rooster Teeth. That was our inspiration, was basically doing breaking news, Rooster Teeth, and we would report the news, and it was such a goofy, fun thing. Oh man, I would have to try to find the channel again, but it was we tried to be like a high school Rooster Teeth, and yeah, just memories. Polar's fine. Just got a message. You know, a massage. A message. Can you tell I need coffee, sleep, and then some? I am coming up to my first break, so I might have to go and take a quick look and see if that channel is somehow still alive after all those years. But I would have to try and find the name of it first. What was it? It wasn't. Then call the sewer levels the land of electricity. I mean, she wasn't, you know, wrong. Been a hot minute since I've done that. No, you were thinking the right level. You were 100% thinking the hot level, the right level hot shot. Jeez. Now I have to go all the way back. On! Do I have to go all the way back? No, I don't. Okay, good. Just for the box. But if I detonate the green box, wouldn't that also detonate the regular box as well? Yes, okay. Thought so. Okay, some people are saying it will and other people are saying it won't, so... That's the way forward. Oh, okay. You guys gotta remember, it's been a hot minute since I played Insane. It's been a hot minute since I played Insane. Excuse me. Shoot. Okay, so we got that. So I gotta reset the thing here. Do a little reset. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on because I don't know what is going on with between the handles and the usernames. I don't get it. I like it. I don't know why it's doing it. Well, there was some debate about it, so we made sure. We went back and we made sure anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like that. There we go. Boot slam. Safe and sorry. That's right. checkpoint, and we hit the nitro plate, which should detonate all the boxes. Go. Don't touch them, they go boom. Well, we got it anyway. We got it. Also, letting you guys know, if you guys want to contribute to a bonus 8-hour stream at the end of the month, then if you want to donate in the description and the link through the link in the description below, if we hit our goal, if we fill our bar to $1,500, which we're currently at $100, if we get $1,400 more dollars through the donation link in the description below, at the end of the month, I will do a bonus 8-hour stream, and it'll be voted on you guys. So far, what we have is right now, the current request that someone made, which I think is a very fun request, is going through CTR adventure mode on hard with turning. No speed, only turning. So turning adventure mode on hard. That is the current challenge. So if we fill the bar, then we do an extra bonus stream with that, probably on a Saturday. So, okay, I will be right back. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, and yeah, I'll be right back. Excuse me. Ugh. back. I kind of will admit, I think I fell down the rabbit hole trying to looking for the thing, the channel. I remember the name. I do remember the name. Hey! Oh, let me just double check and make sure if I didn't miss anything else. Okay. Thank you so much, Ori, for the around $5. How would you rank Demon Turf? Your last video got me curious about. I have no idea. Never played it. Never played it. Looks interesting though. I wish I could be able to say how good or how bad it is, or anything. I'm not sure. Amir Kadam donated €250 through Super Chat. Jump on Polar 5 times for us. I'll do it again, but I had already done this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had already did this earlier in the stream, but I do appreciate the €250. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the support. Thank you. I remember the name of the channel, but the channel must have been renamed, or maybe it was my buddy Michael who ran the channel. The channel was called, with much originality, The Gaming Database. That's what it was called, The Gaming Database. And we did a whole bunch of YouTubing stuff back. It would have been around when Reach came out and the year following Reach came out. But, man. But oh shoot. I looked it up and I can't find the channel. I cannot find the channel. And it looks like it's gone, which breaks my heart because I could have shown you guys some of my very, 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 very early YouTube work. Like, actually, it wasn't even like it was a collaborative work though. And I could have showed you guys some of my my original voice acting skills, which like, it was like, looking back, I probably would be cringing, but I also would be laughing because it'd be like, you know, when we, like I said, we were in high school, we didn't have anything but imagination and free tools. Like, we did, oh shoot, we did the best with what we had. And also, like I said, my buddy Michael, he was really the brainchild behind it. And what if every dollar donated equal to polar pounds? $1 equals 1 pound. Okay, sure. For every dollar donated will be 1 pounce on Polar's head. Someone donates $1,000 and starts laughing. Hey Star, how's it going? How about this? From this level all the way till after the boss, however much we don't gets donated, we'll go back and jump on Polar's head that many times. Hey TLOS 8181. Man, I wish that we had. I wish that we had our names back, because some people have handles that we're just giving to them because other people have a similar name or whatever, and then it's like, ah, yes, the username TLS 1757, right? And it's just like, gosh. Honestly, the new, like, Bubsy, it looks pretty decent. It looks pretty good. And I think it's kind of hilarious that it's back in 3D. Now, people are like, oh, Bubsy's been back for a while. He had the 2D games. And I'm like, no. Nothing like the 4D game, like the 3D games. Yeah, I did make a video about it. My last video, I just posted a video about it today. It's about a 5-minute video, kind of giving my thoughts, my opinions, gags and jokes. And again, one of the biggest takeaways about it is that if you want to sit there and say, my game will never come back, Bubsy came back. 3D Bubsy. 3D Bubsy came back. If 3D Bubsy can come back in the most nightmare-induced fuel you could ever imagine, okay, anything can come back. Boink. But yeah, the gaming database, that was what the channel was called. It looks like it's gone now. I don't know who deleted it. It might have been Mike might have deleted it, and I wish he didn't, but it also was his you know, his brainchild. It was his, you know, it was his stuff. But I have to admit, you know, Mike was kind of like, we had moderate success. I'm trying to remember how many views we initially got. I think that one of our videos had gotten up to like actually almost broke 1,000 views, which for us back then was incredible, right? For a video to crack 1,000 views. Almost. Oink. To the moon, Alice. We'll go back afterwards. Hey, Bandicoot girl, how's it going? Boink, boink. Go. It's alright. It's alright if it requires a red gem. It's alright. Go. Ow. Go, go. Ow. Ow! Hey, Amir Kadam donated €8 through Super Chat. Thank you so much. How do you think the Cancel Crash 5 with Spiral would have turned out if it went into full development? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it would have turned out. I think it could have been a mighty fine game. I think it could have been a really good game because at the end of the day, it would have been Toys for Bob handling the helm, right? And that's the thing is that those guys, they do some amazing work. And Bandicoot Girl just donated $20 worth of super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. That's incredibly kind. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate the super sticker. Heart right back to you. Thank you, Bandicoot Girl. Thank you. Look at all these polar. That's right. So that's 26 polar bounces. That's right. So that means Polar's gonna get jumped on his head 26 times. Hold on. Why is my phone going off? Who messages me? Who messages me? Who does? Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The thing is that Toys for Bob has always been able to deliver, right? I mean, they delivered with Spiral Reignited, they delivered with Crash 4, they delivered with Rumble, in my opinion. I know that a lot of people argue about that, but Toys for Bob delivers. And I think, like, in the past decade or something like that, maybe not the past decade, but maybe decade. In the past decade, Toys for Bob hasn't released a game that scored lower than overall a 7 out of 10. Like, think about that for a sec. I think, you know, on average, Toys for Bob hasn't delivered a game that's been below a 7 out of 10. When that's your floor, when 7 out of 10 is your floor, that's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. From me, my boy. Aw, Bearded Rebel. Aw, thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Like I said, I've had a Crash Bandicoot like new trilogy in my brain for a little bit that I'd like to explore, but I think that it would be a really interesting exploration. I think that for me, I really do think leaning into Entropy's villainy would be really fun.
I'm running low on power, so communication from this point will be difficult. Remember, I'm counting on you.
All right, we're gonna do. All right, now remember, after the Komodo brothers, how much ever's been donated, whether it's through Super Chat or Streamlabs, we're gonna go and jump on Polar's head that many times. So we're currently at 26. So by the time that we finish the Komodo brothers, wherever we're at, that's how many times we're gonna jump on Polar's head. Let's Beyblade! bosses were never Crash Bandicoot's strong point, but that's also why I like Crash 4's bosses, because they were great. All right. Before we go up, Polar, you know what time it is. Yeah, you do. 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There we go. Polar yeah. Let's switch Crash. Sorry, Polar. Apparently Caroline told Chet to do this. It's Caroline's fault.
Good show, Crash. The Komodo
Good
brothers
show.
obviously lacked your mettle. But now's not the time to get cocky. There are still many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
I was gonna do something. All right. The bosses in Crash 3 were amazing. They were pretty good. They weren't that hard, but they were pretty good. Oh, malarkey. Bologna, malarkey, and cheese. That's what that is. Bologna! There we go. Slide jump. Gotta do one of these. Getting impatient. Who was the best boss in Crash 1? Ooh. Best boss in Crash 1? Brio's is pretty good. Papu's is a classic. I remember playing Crash 2 on my aunt's PS2 way back when I was a kid. That's awesome. I remember... For me, I remember playing a lot of Crash with my siblings. My sister was really the only sibling that would play Spyro with me. My oldest brother, after he found the code on Warped, that I don't think he ever played Spiral with me ever. He played Spiral with me one more time, which was for punching in cheat codes. Because he thought it was cool. He punched in cheat codes, and I thought it was super cool. And that was really the last time that he played Spiral with me. You know what? I think that's my favorite, Pinstripe. Pinstripe is probably my favorite boss of Crash 1. I think Pinstripe is. Pinstripe is a lot of fun. I like playing Pinstripe. Or fighting Pinstripe. Can't say I like playing Pinstripe because, well, we didn't get that in Rumble, which I really like. We were so close, man. We were so close. Oh shoot. We were so close to Pinstripe and Nina. No, we're not going for the L. We're going for more of a casual playthrough. I hadn't played Crash 2 until years later. Crash 2 was the one that I missed. Crash 2 was the one that I missed. I played Crash 3, and then I tried Crash 1, and then I played CTR, and then I played Crash 2 years later. Like, many years later. It took a long time before I played Crash 2. And it's probably the one I have the least knowledge on. Is Crash 2, because that was the last one that I played. Also, there's something that's kind of funny that that you know, I remember that some people, I can't remember who it was that said it on a stream at one point, that sat there and was like, "Oh my gosh, how did you not play this game as a kid?" Right? Some people were like, "Man, you know," because I remember someone had made a comment saying like, "How did you play Crash 3 first, but not Crash?" Oh shoot. Like Crash 2. Here's the thing, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize. We were kids back then, and games were expensive. Not everybody got every game possible. Even if you had, let's say you had the money for the games, back then, remember, if it was out of stock, it was out of stock. Like, you couldn't buy it, right? It wasn't like, you know, so even if you wanted the game, if they were sold out, buddy, they're sold out. Like, that's it. You can't, it's not like today where, oh, they're sold out, oh, I'll just buy it digitally then, or, oh, you know, I'll try a different store. There weren't a lot of stores that were selling as many games as there are today. And let me tell you for what, back in the day as well, you got what you got. Like, your parents, oh, come on. You got what you got, right? And that was whatever your parents gave you. That's why some people have these nostalgic memories for these games, and they go back and they try them, and they're like, wow, why is this game so bad? I remember it being so much more fun. Back then, you have to remember, back then, you couldn't just switch games super duper quick. Like today. Today, you could just be like, I'm bored with this game. I'm going to go try another game and look at a vast library. Back then, it was just like, all right, well, I have this game, and I have to make fun with what I got, right? And that was it. So people that are like, oh, there are some people that'll come on the stream, they're like, yeah, we could only afford Crash 2 because we got it as you know, I used a lot, and I loved Crash 2, and I never got to play Crash 1 or 3 until the Insane Trilogy came out or whatever, right? Right, and back then, you played games like out of order. There was no, like, you know, like there was no, like, oh, you know what, you know, Timmy, you can't play Spiral 1 until you play, you can't play Spiral 2 unless you play Spiral 1. There are some people who are like, yeah, my grandfather went to the store, pointed at a game, and it was Spyro, and said that one. It was Spyro 2. Even though the kid never played Spyro 1, didn't matter. You just figured it out as you went. Right? That's... Like, for example, I had never played Sonic Adventure 1. I was just handed Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Never played Sonic Adventure 1. Just played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. That was it. Had never played 1. Do you know who I got it from? It was a gift from my grandfather. Already doing around $5 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fun fact, my uncle was so obsessed with Crash, his daughter caught him playing Insane at 2 a.m. That's more awesome than anything. That's great. Gaming dads. You gotta love it. I never had Sonic Adventure 1. Yeah, never had it. Never had Sonic Adventure 1. Only Sonic Adventure 2. That was it. Right? It's not like today where, you know, you think, oh, there's a new game coming out. Oh, you know what? I better go play the other games to kind of catch up, right? It wasn't like that back then. You have to, you know, people forget that. A lot of people forget that back then it wasn't like, you know, there were people that are like, oh man, I only played one of the Spyros, or oh man, I only played one of the Crashes, or whatever, right? I'm assuming... Also, like, our parents didn't know what they were doing. They're like, oh yeah, Muppets game? Sure, that seems fun. All they could do is just look at the images on the back. That's all that they could do. Right? That's it. That's all that they could do was just look at the images on the back and kind of figure out. It was a very small niche of people who actually could, like, get the PlayStation magazines and read about the stuff and, you know, read about the upcoming announcements and all that good stuff. Back then, it was not. It was not. And you know what? That is something that I miss about gaming today. That's something that I really miss about gaming today. I really miss when you get a new game, you didn't really look at the, you know, you might have heard stuff about it, but there really was no reviews, right? Like, you could read a magazine that could give you a preview and it might tell you about it, but there were no really reviews. And the thing is, too, the people that were reviewing the games, they were just excited. They were just excited to, like, you could tell, you could read their tone. Like, for example, I'm going to pull an Audible. I want to show you guys something, because I think this is something really fun. We are going to take a look at the Ocarina of Time, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the reviews. Now, here's what's awesome about this, okay, is that they have pulled reviews from back in 1998 when it first came out, okay? And what's cool, like Weekly Famitsu, 10 out of 10 platinum, first ever perfect score, right? Right, and then you can click and look at the full review, right? And this is a web archive, right? A web archive. Hey, Hannah Vincent, what's up, nerds? There was, yeah, here we go. Get ready for this. IGN 64, okay? Get ready for this crazy review. Let me quickly fix this so you guys can see it a bit better because we're on the ultra wide here. right? Like, get ready to hear the. Like, I don't think you realize how many people talk about games back then like we do today. Get ready for this. I almost want to make a video about this. The new benchmark for interactive entertainment has arrived. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the 5th official installment in Nintendo's popular action RPG series, is finally here. And like its NES predecessor in 1987, it is a game so enjoyable, it has the power to pull video game players into its imaginative worlds and refuse to let go for days. Call us crazy, but when the final version of Zelda 64 arrived in IGN 64 offices, we stopped working, locked ourselves into a room with a big screen TV and our surround system, and played 17 hours straight. After only a few hours of sleep, we were back for more, and we couldn't stop until we finished the game. Then we started over again to find all the secrets. Rarely is there such a perfect mixture of graphics, sound, and gameplay that even the most cynical players will admit that Zelda 64 is posed to shape the action RPG genre for years to come. When have you heard a review like that in the past 5 years for a game? Even an award-winning game. Like all games in the Zelda series, like all the games in the Zelda series, Ocarina of Time follows the adventures of a young Kokori named Link. After a nightmare involving a certain young princess and the evil thief Ganondorf, who eventually turns into the horned creature known as Ganon, the elven boy wakes up in his home village tucked away behind the mysterious lost woods. The only Kokori without a fairy, Link soon meets up with his new traveling companion, the winged Navi, a Navi, and sets out on the adventure of his life. The quest, which inevitably turns into a rescue mission for Princess Zelda, leads players through dark dungeons, picturesque villages, into the heart of a volcano, to the bottom of a lake, through a haunted desert, deep into a magical forest, into a giant tree, the belly of a beast, and even through time. To say that this game is huge is an understatement. Every time you discover a new corner of the Kingdom of Hyrule, you'll be amazed at the detail, the richness of scenery, the many things to do, and the amount of thought that went into designing it all. For examples, players can spend hours just exploring a village, talking to the inhabitants, solving puzzles, and looking for hidden items. Right? As soon as you pick up the controls for the first time and start to explore the vast universe that makes up his latest creation from the hands of Shigeru Miyamoto and team, you know you're in for a treat. At first, the control is very reminiscent of Super Mario 64, the game that single-handedly invented 3D platformers as we know them. But Ocarina of Time is not a platformer, a fact that takes some getting used to when trying out Link's various actions. You see what I mean? There's no jump button. You have to realize, back then, stuff like that was just like, oh my gosh, right? You can still jump at certain points of the game, but it's not integral to the gameplay that players actually control the jump themselves instead. Ocarina of Time introduces an auto jump feature where Link will jump at the last possible moment when running toward a ledge. It sounds annoying in theory, but works very well for this type of game, right? Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. And it's really interesting going back and reading like old original reviews, like we take for granted, right? That we take these things for granted, man. Oh, shoot. You know what? That's a good question. Maybe we'll go look up the Spiral reviews next. Hold on a second. forget. Is there a secret? Whoops.
Crash, thank goodness! I hacked into Cortex's computer and found detailed schematics for an improved Cortex Vortex and a suspicious-looking space station. I'm not sure, but Cortex might be trying to...
Found it. Totally Fly, Road to Ruin, Snow Go. What? I always forget. What's the level that I should go into from here? Can I only... What level should I go into? Because I forget. I'm blanking on this. Totally Bear. Gotcha. Okay. Ow. Dash jump, right, dash jump. Right, the thing I don't like to use. Jeez, I forget. Brace myself for what? What am I bracing for? There we go. Okay, got it. Second. Point. Ah, no! Ag! Can I dash in midair? Because it's kind of weird. Because it looks like I would like. No, I can't. Okay. Erg. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember renting games at Blockbuster. Still to this day, I have a story about, about one of the games that I rented from Blockbuster that was, you know, I still remember to this day, and I still have it. I've told the story a number of times, so I'm not going to repeat it again unless people really want to hear it. It was for Harvest Moon, Save the Homeland. Oh man, the story behind that game. Why is this one such a pain in the derriere? Whoa! Elena donated $50 through Super Chat. $50. Elena, thank you. $5 from Grandma. She's watching. Say hi, everyone. Hi. Sorry, Mom and I missed your Tuesday stream. That's okay. No notification from YouTube, and we forgot to set our alarms as a backup. Challenge for everyone. Once 11:11 in your time zone, make a wish. I will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Elena. That is incredible. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely incredible, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. It means so much to me, Elena. Thank you. It means so much to me. Thank you so much. Also, wanted to update you guys on the secret channel that is currently in the works. The thumbnails for the videos are almost have been started, and dang it, have been started, and the first one is done. And like I said, the whole point of this channel is I don't want people who don't watch the content at first, because it's also partially an experiment. It's also a partial experiment, because I want to see if I can build a channel without necessarily like the Canadian Guy A branding, right? Like, it'll still be a, Canadian Guy A. It still will be, Canadian Guy A, of course. But it will be, a bit different, and I want to see what will happen. And if I make a whole bunch of content for it and then no one watches it, then I'll be like, hey guys, if you're interested, go check it out, and I'll show it to everybody, and then there'll be a bunch of content for everyone to watch. And if it still doesn't blow up and it still stays dead, then I should have charged. It's a good thing there was a checkpoint, though. The thing is that, hey, Bandicoot girl. Oh no, I missed the checkpoint because donate a $10 super sticker. Hey, it's a nice new Shiba. Thank you. I love the super stickers. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We love them super stickers. Why? Thank you guys. Thank you so much for all the donations tonight. I really do appreciate it. It comes during a time which we very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. There we go. You guys are the reason why we're able to continue to do this full time, genuinely. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't think I'd be able to do this full time or Borderline at all. And I just am always wowed and amazed by everyone's generosity and kindness, whether it's okay, so is there something down here? Okay, well, I'm always just touched and amazed by everyone's generosity and kindness. And like I said, it's because of the live stream donations that I'm able to do this full time. Genuinely, it is. If you think about it, like Elena's $50, that's almost a video. Like how much I make on one video after a few weeks, right? So when I say that you guys are the reason why I'm able to do this full time, I am not joking. I am not joking or kidding around or toying with you or blowing smoke up anyone's butt. It is genuinely genuinely how I'm able to continue doing this full time. And it's insane. Like, here, take a look. I'll show you. Like, here, I'll show you guys real quick, just for kicks and giggles. Let me show you. Let me show you. See this video here. Take a look. See here. I'm not trying to hide stats here, right? My Crash Team Racing director talks about PC port and 10 million sales, right? $58 after 26,000 views, right? Now here's the thing. Here's the wild thing, okay? Elena's donation is equivalent to that, right? It's right. It is without that, and it's incredible. It's incredible, right? Right? It's you guys that I'm able. It's because of you guys that I'm able to do this. It's because of you guys, right? And I am beyond grateful and thankful. That's how I'm able to do this full time. And your guys' support, just, it means the world to me. Hope it's not too much of a question, but how much of that $50 goes to YouTube as a cut? 30%. 30%. But Streamlabs is like 95% or 98%, around there. But also, Streamlabs is finicky with people, right? Streamlabs is very, 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 Streamlabs is very finicky with some people. Some people it works just fine. Some people it is so finicky. And for, like I said, for some people it's so finicky. And Super Chat, for some reason, can like take everything. I don't know what is with Super Chat and what it is. It's like, yeah, sure, we can take gift cards, Apple gift cards. We take credit card. We take PayPal. We take potatoes, cotton balls. We also can do crypto. I think some people said they could do crypto, and I was like, what on earth? I don't know what it is, but Super Chat can take basically everything. Good night, Bandicoot Girl and Beard Rebel. Thank you guys so much for your love and support tonight. So thank you. Like, hold on, let me do the math on something real quick. So let's say it was what? It was $58 for 26,500 views. Right? It was 58. So I make $1. Is coffee any better? Coffee is pretty good. So maybe I'll set up a coffee link, an alternative coffee link. So every 450 views, 56 views, I make $1. Okay? Through regular videos, not shorts. I make about $2 every 1,000 views, right? So I want you to picture this. Someone says, oh, I can only give $2, because the amount of times people have said that has been insane. Oh, here's only $2. $2 is equivalent to almost 1,000 views. Think about that for me. Right? When you put the numbers that way, right, where it's like every 1,000 views you get I get $2 from YouTube. So that's how one can view it, where it's like, hey, or when someone says, oh yeah, here's $10, it's like that's huge. $4 is 2,000 views. Oh, malarkey. YouTube takes 30%. I take 70 from super chats. Oh, malarkey. So your guys' support is why this channel is still alive and still going, right? I still remember one time I got a hate comment. I had gotten a hate comment from somebody saying that he always freaks out. Like, he gets a $20 donation and the guy freaks out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be even angry at that criticism. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, because there's different ways to, there's different ways to quantify donations, right? There's different ways. You have one way to think of it is, oh, come on. One way, hey, Titans Forever. Yeah, what I mean is that when I do it through Streamlabs, it gets a bigger cut. But if someone hands me, I want you to picture $20 as someone working an hour at their job. Right? If someone sat down and helped you do something for an hour, right? Picture that, right? Should I hit this and then go? How dare you acknowledge the donation, right? I probably should have hit that and then did that. Now I'm thinking about it. I probably should have done that. That's okay. But that to me is wild. That to me, like that thought of, oh, he freaks out over every donation. Yeah. Shouldn't you? Like, shouldn't you be? Shouldn't anybody feel that way, or am I crazy? Like, there's some people that have stuff that's like, I don't acknowledge the donation unless it starts with $20. And I sat there, I was just like, what? Are you insane, cracked, or like, what's wrong with you? Like, what do you mean you only acknowledge it if it's around $20, at least $20? What do you mean that's when you acknowledge it? I hope that I am able to years ago I donated $2 and you thanked me and it didn't feel forced or fake, just something I still remember years later. It's, yeah. Also, hi, everyone. Yes, that's true. And you know what the other thing is? Imagine getting mad at someone for being thankful. Yeah, someone legitimately said that they didn't like me because I freak out over donations. That was something that blew my mind. Because here's the thing, too. Okay? Is that, could you imagine, like what Dagger just said? He just said that, years ago he donated $2. And I said thank you, and I appreciated him for that, right? Dagger has been a huge supporter of the channel. Huge, whether it be viewership-wise, in person, which we've met at PAX a few times, whether it's financial, whatever the case may be. Dagger has been a huge supporter of this channel. And I appreciate him and everything that he has done for this channel. But what if he's donated $2? I was like, yeah. And I just said, yeah, thanks. And that was it. And just moved on. He would remember that. Be like, wow, that guy's kind of not nice. So it's wild to me. It is wild to me. Just absolutely mind-blowing to me that people don't do that. I probably never know if that happened. And yeah, thanks. Basically, all malarkey. That to me is wild. That is wild to me. So when someone gave me that criticism, I just sat there. I was like, okay. Love years ago if I got a bad reaction. Of course! That wouldn't, like, that would be terrible. And you know, and so you should. If you donate to somebody and they don't acknowledge it like that, I'm not saying if they forget, like if they missed it, that's one thing. But if they're like, oh, you know, they acknowledge it, they're like, oh yeah, whatever. I wouldn't donate I would never donate to them ever again. I wouldn't. I would never donate to them again. I wouldn't want to support them on anything. I wouldn't want to support them on Patreon. I wouldn't want to support them on literally anything ever. I wouldn't want to support them on their on their content. I wouldn't want to support them on their views. I wouldn't want to support them on their breakfast choices. You go saying that people shouldn't watch streams unless they make a donation each stream. Yep. That was I saw that and I was just like, wow, that's yeah, I don't know who that was either, but it was, I remember it was this girl with elven ears on. And she's like, I'm providing free entertainment. The least you could do is donate $5. If you can't afford $5, you shouldn't be watching my content and you should be out trying to get a job. Says the pot calling the kettle black there, ma'am. What on earth? Wow. Gross. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, because when I saw her, I just sat there with my mouth agape like... Because as someone who does accept donations from people, I know I try to thank and appreciate every single one. I try. I try my very best. If I miss any, I feel like slime. I feel terrible. I feel awful whenever I miss a donation. Even if they're like, oh, don't worry, it's okay, I understand. I'm like, no, you don't get it. I missed a donation. I've dishonored you and myself. Like, you know, I'm half exaggerating, but it feels terrible. Like, that's something I don't want to miss. I provide entertainment. Well, ma'am, there's a lot of other people also providing entertainment, so... When did that happen? That probably... Hey, Sprout, how's it going? I think it happened... would have been either 1 year or 2 years ago. I don't know if she's still doing it. I don't know if she's still live or not, because made sure I went out of my way to make sure that it was in. Was it in 20? Oh, I thought it was last year. It was 5 years ago, CGE. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. That. Like, oh no. Time. Time is escaping my grasp. It's slipping out of my fingertips. Knuckles. Oh no. YouTuber was scolded because it was COVID. Oh my gosh, that makes it even worse. How's Mama CG? She's doing great. She's doing better each day. There's some stories that, you know, there's some stories about my mom's care that maybe we'll share one day. Today's not that day, but there's some horror stories that were that have been really, really bad, and you know, I am grateful that the community came and backed her up. She didn't think that we were going to make $1. She didn't think that we weren't going to make much at all, and that was okay. And she was like, oh, you know, if we make my mom's expectations was like, you know what, maybe they'll be able to pay for my compression stockings, you know, that will help, right? Because the compression stockings are like $200. So maybe they'll help with my compression stockings. When she saw the amount, she nearly started sobbing. She was just like, each day I've talked with her, she's just like, I still can't believe it. She's like, I still can't believe it. I was like, I know. I said, I can. I said over and over again, I said, my community is one of the best communities that I've ever seen, and I know I'm biased, and I will admit I am biased, but man, this community is genuinely one of the most supporting communities that I've ever seen on the internet, and I am thankful and grateful, and I thank God every day that we've been able to come together and make this community what it is today. So again, to everybody involved, thank you to everyone who was involved, whether it was just viewing, whether it was just or whatever the case, just a million thank yous to everybody involved. Thank you. You helped my mom be able to now have a renewed quality of life that she never thought that she was going to be able to get back. So and I'm glad that you I'm glad that you found us too, Dagger. I'm glad. We're closer to 2030 than we are 2020. You know what? I'm okay with that. Please get 2020, the taste of 2020 out of my mouth. I hope that we never experience another year like 2020 ever again. I hope that we never ever. Yeah, my mom suffered for a year. And it just got progressively worse and worse as time went on. Oh, I'd be mad too if I had a trip to Disney planned and it was, wiped out by Covidicus Maximus. I would also be quite angry if your mom makes a swift recovery, and she has been. She has. And we're very grateful for it. Wedding plans got ruined. My it would be my sister-in-law. She had her wedding, had to do her wedding during the COVID lockdowns, and she was only allowed. She got lucky. She was allowed like 10 people, and she was one of the lucky ones. The thing that still gets me upset are the funerals. The funerals in the hospitals, like people not being able to say goodbye. I don't want to get into that, but the sheer idea that you had to say goodbye over FaceTime, to me, there's just, again, I don't want to get into it because I don't want to cause arguments or anything, but just moving on, it made me feel sick inside in ways that you can't even comprehend. Roll on 23rd December, we'll be celebrating the 5-year anniversary of when CG was donated $10,000. I don't know if I talked about, I haven't seen Dark Paladin in years. Right? I haven't seen Dark Paladin in years, and I just hope that he's doing all right, because I hope he knows that that donation was a donation that came in at a time that it was needed more than he would have ever known, and more than even I would have known, because it was terrifying. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. And the money was there so that I could get my family to somewhere safe and okay. During the pandemic, let's say it was awful and lonely for someone never again. Yeah, it was not good. And the support of that donation was what allowed me to be able to... Let's just say if I didn't have that donation, 2021 would have been... It was a response like, there's too many decibels! Yeah, I know. Yeah, she was, there's too many decibels! She was freaking out. What did I do during the pandemic? Well, you guys saw it. I missed her. I do too. Oh, shoot. Again. I wish all the people who have supported me in the past nothing but blessings, whether it was $1 or Dark Paladin's $10,000, whoever it is, anybody who has supported me at any point for any amount, I wish nothing but a great life, a good life. Mr. Jim, it's fine, it's fine. Nothing but a good, a great, and amazing life. I remember one of my donators, and I talked about this, and it was weird. It was almost as if someone reached out to them to tune in, and maybe someone did, or maybe someone didn't. I don't know, but there was someone that I spoke with. Their name was, and they were a fan. It was Sire, and I remember I mentioned that there was something that I felt horribly guilty about when it came to Sire. Sire sent me something for me to give away, and I never could have gave it away. Actually, I could give it away now, I might be able to do it now. I couldn't get it working right, and I didn't know how to do it, and I never got to give it away, and I felt so guilty because shortly afterwards I didn't see them, and I felt terrible. And then it was like a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, maybe a month later. I can't remember how long it was later. Sire had come back to the stream and said hi, and just said, "Yeah, I've been working," and I literally confessed to him on stream. I was like, "Hey, you know, we talked about this really recently, and it was, you know," and I told him that I felt terrible about the fact of not being able to give away the special edition of Reignited, and he was totally cool with it. He's like, "Oh, no problem." And there are many people that, you know, Dark Paladin is one of them, and even if I only got to speak with him one more time, even if it was just one more time, I would love for him to know, you know, what that donation did. What it did for me and my family, and what it, you know, the sheer horrors that we were about to experience, and how using those funds we were able to get out of them relatively unscathed. It was
Crash,
amazing.
Boy. You are more than halfway there. But I'm sure you've noticed that things are getting harder. The last 10 crystals will be the hardest to gather, and our enemies will be sending their strongest forces to thwart you. I'll contact you again when you have completed the next warp room.
Alright, so we'll do the boss here, and then I'll take my next break and stretch out my legs. Who's Dark Paladin? Dark Paladin was someone who would come and support the channel. And Dark Paladin was a supporter of the channel, and they were super cool, super awesome, and he was a really big supporter, huge supporter of the channel, of me, and like he would reach out to me sometimes, like he would send a DM sometimes and have a chat with me, and I always appreciated them. And he was funny. He was funny. Oh, he was funny. And and then one day it was just like gone. And you see, my anxiety is always that I've done something to offend them. That's always my big anxiety is, you know, when you have someone who's such an amazing supporter of you and you do something to grossly offend them in a way that wasn't your intention, and you find out later, like, yeah, they left because of that, and then you sit there and, oh, come on. And you sit there and you think to yourself, like, did I say something? Did I do something wrong? And, you know, that's always been something on my mind of, like, did I do something? And I know it's probably irrational to think that way. I know that. I know that. I know that. But still, it goes through your mind, you know? It goes through your brain. You think about it. You think, you know, did I say something? Did I do something? Did I... was there something that I done, right? Oh, come on. This person leave or something? They haven't been around a long time. We haven't heard from them. We haven't heard a peep from them. Not on Discord. Not on the channel. They just disappeared. Who? It was a user by the name of Dark Paladin. very, very kind, and now they're gone, right? And there's more than just Dark Paladin. There's other people too, right? There's other supporters as well that, you know, I miss. Jeez. I remember there was a guy named Mario Sniper. I remember, Trev. Oh no, Trev is still around. Trev is still around. Trev is still supporting. And Trev, I mean, and a shout out to Trev. Trev donated $2,000 towards my mom's cause. Dad Jokes donated $1 through Streamlabs. Thank you so much, Dad Jokes. Give me 1 second. Woo! Got it. Whew. I prefer the Crash 4 model, and I know that's considered as a, you know, Dad Jokes donated $1. My granddad asked how to print something off on his computer. I told him Control P. He said he hasn't been able to do that for years. That's funny. Control P. I haven't been able to do that in years. Control P. That's funny. I like that. I like that a lot. So, life happens. That could be the reason, unfortunately. Yeah, life does happen. So, all right. I'll be right back. I'm going to take my last break of the stream. Just give me 1 second. All right. I'll be right back. My back hurts. anything? Nope, we didn't. Okay. Sorry, one second, chat. There we go. Okay. Okay, thanks. Hey, dang, how's it going? Hi, Michael. How's it going? All right, here we go. Would you rather only be able to eat at your hotel buffet while traveling or only able to eat street food? Oh boy. So, hotel food is typically pretty bland. It's typically pretty just, yeah, it's alright. Street food has there's three. There's amazing, and I need to go back and order 5 more of whatever it is I just ate. Kind of disappointing. Or diarrhea. just like, and I ain't talking about the upset stomach kind. I'm talking straight liquid. So, oh, on. We got another dollar from Dad Jokes again. Life tip: don't play doctors and nurses with your kids, because if you're the patient, chances are you'll be stuck on a bed in a corridor for 2 days waiting to be seen. Oof. But still, I do think that I would go with street food. Because honestly, used to have a taco truck at the gas station by my old apartment. It was honestly amazing. Yeah, you see? Welcome to, Ronald's the Cowboy Coyote donated $5 to Super Chat. Thank you so much, Ronald. Well, isn't this been the year of impossible comebacks? For Kami too, and now Bubsy's return. At this point, anyone can make a comeback. That's true. I'll say it. So, I mean, it's true though. It is true. Now we're talking actual street food. We're not talking, you know. It has been the. Hold on a second. Hold on. My brain is jumping between a DM I'm having on Discord here, the super chat, and street food. Hold on. Here we go. Let me organize this. Okay. I do think that, I hope that additionally with Spyro, there's one more surprise in store. I hope. I've been seeing something, and I've been keeping an eye on it, and I'll say this. As far as I'm aware, there is another franchise currently in development that some people would think it would be impossible to come back or very highly unlikely to come back. And I think people who are fans of this franchise are going to scream and explode. I think people who aren't necessarily fans are going to hear about it and be amazed and shocked. And there has been some public evidence of it, but not enough to turn around and go, there it is. Not enough yet. But will it be announced this year? It's either going to be announced. My prediction is it's either going to be announced this year or next year. I don't know. So if someone wants to timestamp it, because when it gets announced, if it gets announced, I hope it gets announced. If it gets announced, I'll be like, chat, do you remember the secret project I talked about? There it is. Which franchise is it? I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because then too close to the sun. Not yet. Not yet. Too close to the sun yet, Icarus. We gotta wait. Not yet. That game you're working on, it's not a mobile game, is it? I don't... What if it was? What if it isn't? What if we're trying to aim to go for both mobile and console? More specifically, PC and mobile. Just a thought. And hopefully eventually Game Pass. Shoot. I mean, you can try to guess if you want. I'm going to say no matter what, but... You can try if you want, but I mean... I bet the game is... the title of the game is... You just lost the game! Ah! That's okay, Gaming Pez. Sly Cooper? No. I don't think I would have the authority to be able to work on a Sly Cooper game. Plus, if I did work on a Sly Cooper game, I know that there would be a certain subset of fans that would absolutely explode in rage. I think I know because you said there is public evidence. Okay, I'm curious. What do you think it is? And what's the public evidence of it? I'm curious. I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about it. Can't believe we lost the game in the year of 2025. It hurts. Is it a shooter game? No. Wait, it's game. No, so okay. No. Okay, let me clarify. There's two conversations going on, Nomcape. There's two conversations going on at the same time. There's two conversations going on at the same time. There's one conversation about someone suggesting that the game that I am currently trying to develop and that we are currently working on, that we've been chipping out away for the past year, which we're hoping to have a final build ready by the end of September and ready to present. And then someone talking about the fact that where I said that there's a second game that there's public evidence for that could be in development. So there's some conversation wires getting crossed. I can understand why. It makes sense because we're jumping from different two modes of thought. So, and then one person asked, can we try to guess what the game that I'm working on is? I said, sure. And then someone else guessed, can we try to guess the game that you're talking about that you said that there's public evidence for? So there's two methods of thought going on. Yeah, during Nomcape, I can understand. I can understand. Are y'all gonna put out a demo or beta? I don't think so. Maybe. If we are putting out a demo or beta, it would be later down the line. It would be for late, like if it wouldn't be up to me to do that or not. Wait, hold on a second. But anyway, I am curious to hear. Okay, so do we go? I can't remember if we go forward. What happens if we go backwards here? Hopefully, it's not like. But yes, I am curious, Nomcape, what your thoughts are in terms of what the game is that that you think that I'm referring to that I've heard about. What do you mean? We're kidnapping you. That's what's happening. You think you're joining a simulation? Is it a platformer? Some might consider it as that. Some might consider it as that. I don't want to be kidnapped. No, Star, you're not going to be kidnapped. You're going to be adult napped. There's a difference. Oh, malarkey. Hey, Conky, how's it going? Fast to see you here. My point still stands. I don't want to be kidnapped or adult nap. Listen, okay? We'll throw a cupcake in there. It'll be fine. Yeah, that's a request that I'm not going to do and very creepy. No. Has it been a while since the last one? Yes. The Gaming Pest donated $1. Thank you so much. Let me give it a quick read. Have you heard the rumor that the God of War studio is working on a Jak and Daxter reboot? That is the biggest load of crap I have ever heard. While I would kill for a new Jak, I don't think they are the right choice. Why on... Gaming Pez, I would like if you could DM me any of those rumors that that anyone is mentioning or talking about to my furthermore, but that is certainly a rumor. That is certainly a rumor. That would be really... I would be shocked. Is it impossible? No, of course not impossible. Is it likely? I don't know. Like, I don't want to say no to it. Doesn't involve puzzles. No. I don't think. Santa Monica Jak and Daxter. That would be... Yeah, that would be quite the... I think it was debunked already. I mean... I'm all for... Like, if it was true, I'm not going to be against Sony Santa Monica working on a Jak and Daxter. I wouldn't be. Like, I would not be against Sony Santa Monica working on it, like, to be honest. I wouldn't, because God of War Ragnarok and God of War 4 were fantastic RPGs and fantastic combat systems. And to have, you know, a team with that breadth of knowledge, I wouldn't be opposed to it. At the same token of time, though. I also know that there is apparently the rumor is right now that there is a God of War roguelite, like a 2D roguelite that takes place in Greece. And that was something that has been heavily rumored for a little bit now, for the past few months, that there's been a God of War, a 2D roguelite. That's kind of like the, if you guys remember the Prince of Persia game that came out, the recent Prince of Persia game that came out. I can't give any more hints there, Nom-Cape, because, you know, I can't give any more hints than what I've given. That's a little too on the nose. I missed 2. Is that 2 that I missed, or Lost Crown? Yeah. Okay, I think they're nitro crates. So that's a yes. Just kidding, just kidding. Stop it! The 2018, it wasn't quite like a reboot, but it was like a soft reboot-ish. I love the 2018 God of War. Loved it. God of War, air quote, 4. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I liked it a little bit more than... I liked the story of 2018's a bit more than Ragnarok. But Ragnarok's controls are really good too. Oh, shoot. Metroidvania game. That's the game. That's the word I was looking for. Metroidvania. That's it. Not shoot. Not roguelite. I apologize. I got the... I think I got the genre mixed up. It was a roguelite. My apologies. hypothetically, if Sony Santa Monica is the ones doing it, it would definitely be a choice. I'm a little bit shocked on the choice. Guessed that the whole time. I hope there's no boxes back there. Loney? Lucky? Jeez. Banjo? No. But, I mean, I will say for free that it would seem that Toys for Bob is very much interested in a new Banjo. I mean, I don't think that me saying that would be too bad. On Game Pass. Let me take a look. Okay, thank you, Game Pass, for sending this over. Let's read this. Here we go. Let's read this all together. Here we go. Jack and Daxter reboot leak sounds too good to be true. We can only hope. Sometimes the oldies are the goldies, and that seems to be the thoughts of Santa Monica Studio following rumors that the studio is working on bringing back an iconic IP. Originally developed by Naughty Dog and owned by Sony Interactive Entertainment, the Jack and Daxter franchise took the early 2000s by storm. This is a gaming Bible. With the first entry, Jack and Daxter, the precursor legacy, released back in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. It was considered a defining franchise for the console, so it is perhaps no wonder that is that grammatically correct? It was considered a defining franchise for the console, so it is perhaps no wonder that fans have been calling out for a reboot. Well, is that grammatically correct and I'm stupid, or is that grammatically incorrect and it just sounds as hack and slash as it was considered a defining franchise for the console? So it is perhaps anyway. No wonder that fans have been calling out for a reboot over the years. Well, according to... It sounds grammatically correct. Does it? It was considered a defining franchise for the console, so it is perhaps no wonder that fans have been calling out for a reboot over the years. So... Sounds weird to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Sounds weird to me. Well, according to a series of reports... Let's hope that we can get links here. Reports Sony Santa Monica Studio, which is best known for its God of War franchise, may be working on the next Jack and Daxter game. Earlier this year, Jason Schreier revealed that Santa Monica's next project would not be a brand new IP, but rather the return of an old one. Okay. I'll put it this way. It's not a new IP, but it might feel like one, he said to Reset Era. Okay. So, Jason Schreier, a good source. Let's start there. Maybe that's why people are confused. People don't ask me more questions about this. If I wind up reporting more information at any point in the future, it'll be in an article, not on a forum. Previously, Cory Barlog, the current creative director at Santa Monica Studios, took to Twitter back in 2021 to joke that he was currently working on The Last of Us, but with Jack and Daxter instead. The post has since been deleted, but it was enough to capture fans' attention. I do remember that. He had joked that he is working on The Last of Us, but with Jack and Daxter instead. The post has since been deleted, but it is enough to capture fans' attention. I do remember that. Okay. I'll see if I can pull up that tweet in a second. Of course, neither of these instances confirm a Jack and Daxter remake, but it is sure a lot of coincidences. Following this, fans took to our gaming leaks and rumors to share their thoughts on the potential reboot. This would be a dream, but 1% chance it's true, one user claimed. Another fan added, Cory Barlog overhauled the game of God of War series into something new and fresh. It isn't a stretch to think that Sony would pay him and his team to do something to another IP. Remains to be seen if the Jack and Daxter reboot will be brought to life, but right now we can only hope. That is... Okay. What was reported here is not enough to confirm or even suggest anything at the moment. There is no leak. There is no new information. If he said those two things and then a third thing happened, may be onto something. Maybe onto something. But there is no leak. Now, I do remember this, and I am going to save this because I was looking, I was genuinely looking for this. I was genuinely looking for this image. So I will, okay, that's being a butt to me, so we'll just do this. So I am happy to find that. If there's anything that comes from it, I wanted to have that just in case. But read here, this was back in February, man. Right? This was back in February. And then, of course, I'm trying to, okay, Jason Schreier said, can we get back to the response? Okay. Well, here, we'll do this. Okay. So we're at 11 o'clock, so we're about time to finish up the stream. So let me quickly just transition over to here real quick. And let me think on this for a second. Jason Schreier confirming that it is an IP that Jason Schreier is essentially confirming that it is a reboot. Right? That it is a reboot of a franchise that we already know. because it's going to feel like something completely new. That's one thing. And then you got Cory Barlog's tweet, which was taken down and deleted. Now, I don't know why Cory would tweet such... It's almost so blunt that... It's almost so blunt that it doesn't seem believable. Does that make sense? Like, there's one thing where they're trying to be whispery and then they delete it because they feel like they got too close. And then it's so blunt that they say that and then they realize, oh, you know what? People might actually think I'm doing this. I better take it down because of just how blunt and silly it is. Right? It feels like legal trouble if it was real or 100% authentic. Not even legal trouble. It feels like Cory Barlog would know way better than that. Would just know way, way better than that to be that blunt. And Cory does know better than that. Cory does know better than that. Cory very much does know better than that. He's a veteran. He's been around for a long time. He's been making games for a very long time. He's very experienced at it. He's very good at it. So, again, if he said something that was like, oh, I have to learn some new stuff. I guess I'm now a jack of trades, and then took it down. You could make an argument to be like, maybe he's trying to, maybe he was trying to slip something past and then realize I probably shouldn't say that, right? But it definitely is very blunt. So blunt that it makes me feel like it's not true. But I also don't want to exclude it. First up, we know that they're not working on The Last of Us. We know that. We know, like, we can strike that off. They're not working on The Last of Us, period. Like, Neil Druckmann would die twice before he let anyone else touch that franchise other than him and Naughty Dog. Neil Druckmann is not letting anyone touch The Last of Us, or at least not a mainline game. Like I said, Neil Druckmann would die twice before he would let that. That's his baby. So we can strike that off, right? Would they be working on Uncharted? I don't think they would want to reboot Uncharted. We know Naughty Dog is working on that new franchise, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. The In Space and Wee. We'll probably not see that until 2036. Intergalactic, thank you. So what other game by Naughty Dog, if they're doing anything associated with Naughty Dog, because why would he talk about Naughty Dog specific projects overall? Sorry, I'm not saying anything. My brain is just percolating right now. Because why would what other franchise would Sony Santa Monica that is currently who was Sony Santa Monica? What other PlayStation title would someone think that they would see fit? And then that title would be in need of a reboot. Because I do agree, Jak and Daxter does need a reboot, in my opinion. I think Resistance, I mean, Insomniac's owned by PlayStation now, so Resistance, okay. That's not a bad suggestion at all. Carl Singh, she's getting better. She's getting much better. Each day that passes, she's healing more and more, which is amazing. Ape Escape, no. I don't think it would be Ape Escape. I don't think so. No. Twisted Metal, okay. I don't hate the idea of Twisted Metal. I made it to the tail end of the stream. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. It's okay, Nomkeep. Let's just move on from it. That's all. Prototype. That's an Activision. I don't even want to think about Sly Cooper. I'll be honest with you, because Sly Cooper has just been on a roller coaster ride of up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't even want to think about that right now, but to inform you, J Bills, what we're talking about right now, to kind of fill you in a little bit, there was an article that came out that is claiming that it was a very, 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 like, it's a weak connection, but there is, something to think about. So somebody is making a connection that Sony Santa Monica, the creators of God of War, are working on Jak and Daxter, a brand new Jak and Daxter. And my first initial reaction was no. Then one of our viewers, Gaming Pez, which, by the way, thank you, sent over the article that we were talking about here. And it basically says, we want it to come back. And it then makes the connection that Jason Schreier has said relatively recently, I think it was July this year, that said that Sony Santa Monica is currently working on a new PlayStation, is working on a game that is a PlayStation IP. It's not a new IP, but it's going to feel like a new IP. So that translates to me as reboot. There's going to be a Sony PlayStation game that is going to get rebooted. And then but before that, back in February, Cory Barlog made this tweet saying, "I don't know, ask Neil. I'm making a Last of Us game only with Jack and Daxter as the main characters." And then this post was also deleted. Right? Now, my thought process is Cory Barlog is enough of a vet in this industry to know not to... Okay, so I didn't see that tweet. Yes. Now, he said this back in February this year, and then he took it down. Now, again, Cory Barlog is enough of a vet in the industry to know not to say something like that, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But he's enough of a vet to know what to say and what not to say. So that is why my initial knee-jerk reaction is that it's a bit of a troll post or a bit of a joking post. And then he took it down because people aren't going to realize that he's sarcastic and being sarcastic and joking, and realize that, oh crap, I probably got a lot of people hopes up. I should probably take this down. Or was told to take it down because people are starting to, freak out about it. And so, okay. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm right now in the siege. We are currently in the, I'm currently in the sea of my own brain. I'm in the oceans of the CGE brain. That's why I'm quiet and I'm thinking. What it seems that what we know is Jason Schreier is confirming that Sony Santa Monica is currently working on what seems to be a reboot, a full-scale reboot of a current franchise. It's not a new IP, and that people are going to think it's a different game because the gameplay is so vastly different. So, okay. So my question is that what IP does Sony own? The question comes down to this. What IP does Sony own let me word this correctly, the question correctly. What IP does Sony own that requires a reboot that we think would work with Sony Santa Monica? All right, that's where my brain is right now. My brain is, what IP do they own that would need to be rebooted? Because Jack, Infamous is another. Infamous was another one. There was another one that I said that Infamous was one. There was another one that I said that I was like, you know what? That's not a bad suggestion. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Yeah, there was intergalactic. Where was the one that I literally Twisted Metal, which I said no. I shot down. I said I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be. Um, I said I don't think it would be. Um, oh, it was Resistance, Fall of Man. All right, Resistance. So you got Resistance, you got Infamous, and then Jack. Well, here's the thing, Michael, is that it wouldn't be a platformer anymore. It seems, yeah, Prototype's owned by Activision, so it's not Prototype. I don't think so. It wouldn't be a platformer. It's because it sounds like it's getting a reboot and the gameplay is getting overhauled, right? So it might be going back to more of an action, or like action platforming RPG, right? What about Parappa? I don't think no. It would be a Japanese company, I think, touching Parappa, or a third party. I don't think Sony Santa Monica. Yeah, you have to realize whatever Sony Santa Monica is working on, it's a big AAA title. Sony Santa Monica doesn't come out with AA titles. They are going to be working on titles that are massive, that have a scale, that are gigantic. Look at God of War. Look at God of War 2018. Look at Ragnarok. Look at the size of these games, right? And core, they're not going. These are massive companies that require whatever it is they're working on to be to bring in not just a little bit of money, like a boatload of money. So while these games are great, they're not going to be bringing in a boatload of cash. Not for the size of, not for their size. I think Infamous, but you see, does Infamous really? Because Jason Schreier's comment was, what was the comment? What was it that he said? What was the wording that he said? What was the wording that he said? Was this? I'll put it this way. It's not a new IP, but it might feel like one. Maybe that's why people are confused. People don't ask me more questions about this. If I wind up reporting more information at any point in the future, it'll be in an article, not on a forum. I can also confirm that Ashong knows what they are talking about, and that the sci-fi stuff that people apparently believe for years now is nonsense. I don't know what the last part of what he's talking about, but the first part. It's not a new IP, but it might feel like one. Ooh, Heavenly Sword. Ooh, when you said that, I got some chills up my spine on that one. Some chills went up my spine on that one. Heavenly Sword. Whew, every time I say it. Could it? I mean, it is an IP owned by... else could it be? Jack feels like the problem is the more I think about it, the more I think, because I don't think Infamous needs a reboot. It doesn't. Like, Infamous doesn't need a reboot. It's a good game. It's a great game. Right? Like, it is a fantastic game. It feels good. It looks good. It doesn't really need a reboot. And I don't think we would want to have it feel different than what it already feels like. Jack could go through something like that. It's which of those feels like it needs a reboot. And Jack is the only one that I feel like, because I literally made a video that Jack has an identity crisis. And I kind of explained that, like, you have the precursor legacy, then you have Jack 2, which takes inspiration from Grand Theft Auto, and then you have Jack 3, which takes a lot of, like, the dune buggy racing, and it feels like the 3 games are good, but they definitely feel all over the place. And that if you sit back and, like, let's make a new Jack and Daxter, except have a plan for 1, 2, and 3, and have a plan from beginning to end so that we know where we're going and where we're ending. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Sony says the account is not associated with Cory Barlog or Sony Santa Monica Studio. No, that's Cory Barlog. I believe he took himself off of Twitter, though. I believe he took himself off of Twitter, but that is Cory Barlog. Because he did take it down. Like, he took down Twitter. He's no longer on Twitter. And I remember that he was still... And he's got the verification and everything, right? So... All right. This is going to have to be tomorrow CG with a fresh brain to think about, because I'm going to have to think on this one. I'm going to have to think on it. I'm going to go investigate a little bit on this, though. I'm going to sit and think on it. So, anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video and our live stream tomorrow, because I got a lot to think about. So, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys soon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.